Singapore hosted Asia's first men's fashion week recently, the third country outside of Milan and Paris to do so. In fact, the 5-day men's fashion event, which showcased up to 15 local and internationally renowned brands, was touted to rubber stamp Singapore's position as the fashion hub of Asia. So are our local men ready for Singapore to be a fashion capital yet? Are Singaporean men fashionable or not at all? We find out at the first ever men's fashion week in Asia here in Singapore.
Singaporean men on the street, fashionable or not?
Depends if it's like an uncle. I would probably have to say 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. But again, if you look at the young people, they're quite fashionable. So many kids put on some effort. So many kids, put an individual taste in the way they dress, and I think it's good.
If you go Orchard Road, you will see a lot of t-shirts, jeans and slippers. So yeah, I can't deny.
The majority of them are not really fashionable, but there's probably like minority, like 30% or 40, maybe 30%. But it's a good, healthy number.
Part of them, a nice group of them, a sizable sum of them are fashionable. The rest need quite a bit of help.
I think they are, yeah.
Really?
I think they have their own fashion sense to what they grew up with. I think everyone's got that, every culture, as good, or we could think that it's good or bad or whatever, but it's, it's their own sense, and I get it.
As you know, I've been quoted in the papers for saying that the next time I see someone walking down Orchard Road in slippers, I will shoot them. Okay, let me justify my statement. I think it's a matter of wearing the right thing at the right time. My grouse is for people who look like they just rolled out of bed, put on the flip-flops, gone to the wet market, done their shopping, eat chi kueh, and then go to Orchard Road.
Out on the streets, the sentiment seems to be that local men need to find their fashion identity.
They want to go to the extent of being fashionable, but yet they have no sense of uniqueness on themselves. They are just like a follower rather than a trendsetter.
I think there's a fashion sense. I don't think so.
It's just their bad fashion sense?
Yes, I think so.
Compared to last time, I can see that slowly Singaporean men, they are slowly trying to dress up themselves well.
I guess Singapore men fashion sense has its own unique traits and characteristics.
Not that bad, to say.
I think because they don't know how to dress according to certain occasions.
I guess it's the weather, because we're too casual here. You know what I mean?
But those in the fashion scene say that local fashion shouldn't be compared to that in other countries because of the difference in climate.
Maybe it's because of the weather, maybe it's because that we're just a little bit more on the casual side. So don't then compare a guy walking around in Singapore with somebody who's all dressed up with, sweaters and coats and scarf and everything in winter, in the middle of winter somewhere else. Our men here are still, wearing nice shirts or, knits, sweaters, walking around in nice shoes. I don't really see a difference.
I think we should use that as an excuse. Like, we just have one season and all that. I mean, look at the fabulous people of Saint Tropez, Look at them and look at us. It's more or less like sunny also, And yeah, so I think you should like look at me. I'm wearing a leather jacket in Singapore.
I think they're quite fashionable nowadays. Like, at least my group of friends, we bother to groom ourselves and want to look good, and like at least my circle of friends.
So what have been some of the worst fashion crimes men have committed in Singapore?
I'm going to sound like Samantha from Holland Village. But yeah, berms and slippers and singlet. It's not wrong to wear berms and slippers and singlet because sometimes I do wear that to the beach.
Wearing a pajamas out downstairs like hawker centres. Yeah, I saw.
So evidently our local men are not quite at the fashion forefront just yet. And when it came to the most fashionable men in Asia, the answers were more or less unanimous. And nope, it wasn't our sunny island.
Well, I would have to say Japan and maybe Taiwan. I like how they're always so effortlessly put together.
Japan, they're really creative with the use of fabric, and the men there know how to pull it off quite well.
I think Japan, yeah.
Quite an obvious up. Living in Japan and Hong Kong, yeah.
Taiwan is good too, yeah. They have more personality in putting their clothes together. so they look different on the streets.
Yeah.
It's not you see the same kind of silhouette.
You see the one trend there. Like maybe a few on the street, like with their different approach to it.
So how can our boys shape up and suit up, or at least look a little better?
Tell the general man on the street who you grade about 4 upon 10. How to improve his dressing, what tip would you give?
Get nice shoes. Always wear nice shoes. You can be naked, but if you're wearing nice shoes, that's amazing.
Quality. Get good quality clothes first. It doesn't have to be very expensive, but it's good workmanship that makes a very good attire.
Well, you heard it, men. So make sure the next time you don't just go out to Orchard Road looking like you just rolled out of bed, because you never know. You might just get shocked.